delighted to welcome Mr. Shrinath Chakraborty, Senior Vice President, NISG, at the Time Secure India Summit 2025. Sir, what does being a part of the Time Secure India Summit mean to you personally, and why do you feel these gatherings are important?
I think these gatherings are very important. I'm glad you asked this question. It brings together stakeholders from a variety of industries, government, private, different domains. When you think about security, physical security, cyber security, and different aspects of it, there are lots of people who are working in this domain, bringing their own perspectives and facing their own challenges. I think it's important for a gathering like this so that there is an exchange of ideas and we also learn from one another. This is not a narrow thing where a particular organization, a particular entity will have all the answers. We need to understand what challenges government is facing so that private industry can develop solutions to address those challenges. You can also understand what kinds of capabilities there are, even in terms of skill and power to work on these things. And that also is a clue for government to enhance the skilling and the training. So I think a number of parameters get addressed, ideas, there's a lot of cross exchange, and I think this should be not only just an annual event, but as was mentioned in the beginning of the summit as well, an ongoing conversation that has to happen throughout the year. It is only then that it starts to develop a framework and a platform on which people can connect with and can build on.
Well said. How do you see the security and safety sector evolving in India, especially with the way the businesses and communities are changing?
So security affects everyone, and very often they say that it's the human element that actually is the most vulnerable. As much of systems and software that you can build, ultimately it is the employee, it is the worker, it's the human who is interacting where a lot of the breaches or the compromises can happen. So it does affect our community. It affects our businesses because businesses employ a lot of people. Regardless of what domain they are safeguarding a lot of data. This is the age of data. We are collecting, absorbing hordes and volumes of data. Therefore, using this data, whether it's on our mobile phones or laptops, etc., and this powers our lives. It powers our work. It powers everything we do in our lives. And therefore, the security is a collective effort. It's not the domain of just one stakeholder. Specifically at NISG, we're working in the area of e-governance. We're advising government organizations in many aspects of technology, including cybersecurity. And so it's especially important that we understand as custodians of this data, how is it being captured, how is it being stored, how is it being secure, and what are the implications of a breach. It's not just that some data is breached, but we have to understand the connections between all of the parts of this moving system. A little bit counter to this is also the data privacy angle. And so at NISG, we're also working closely with the Ministry of IT on the Digital Data Protection Act, which has been enacted in 2023, and the rules are going to be notified soon. So working closely with them both to increase awareness among both government and private bodies on this act, and also to enable organizations to be compliant with this act. And this, for the first time, India in enacting this act has also taken a very balanced stance compared to the European bodies. We've studied all of these regulations and taken a very balanced stance on this. So now it is important that it actually gets implemented. So, and NISG is playing a big role in that.
That is extremely meaningful. What is one message of encouragement you would like to share with the frontline security professionals, firefighters, data professionals, and safety leaders who work every day to protect others?
I think to be very aware of your surroundings. And by that, I don't mean just physical surroundings, but even in the cyber world, the cyber surroundings. Even when we use a device, what are the kinds of measures that you are taking? A lot of times it's simple measures that can protect the data that you have, and also it's important to understand what footprint you are leaving when you are, even downloading an app or engaging in some activity. I think for the younger people at the front lines, it's really about being aware cross-functionally, not just in the particular area that you are concerned with, but also to understand other domains and how something done somewhere else can also impact impact your domain. So I think being more aware of the technical aspect, the physical aspect, the implications of your behavior, whether it is digitally or physically.
Well said. Your knowledge makes a strong impact and leaves a meaning for us all. Thank you so much for being a part of the summit.
Thank you, and I wish the summit all success.
Thank you so much.